Picture a pirate crew feasting like kings in a grand tavern, gorging on roasted meats and bread.
Hollywood has sold you this romantic lie for decades, painting sea wolves as swashbuckling party animals.
But here's the brutal truth that'll shatter every glamorous pirate fantasy you've ever entertained, completely. Most pirates weren't living like tavern kings. They were surviving on rock-hard biscuits and rum. Biscuits that could chip your teeth and carefully measured rum rations on a heaving wooden world. The ocean wasn't their playground. It was a blue desert stretching endlessly, mocking their hunger. Fresh food died fast in salt air and tropical heat, spoiling within days of loading.
Leaving crews with a menu of flour bricks baked harder than stone and burning liquid courage.
Hope on a pirate ship tasted like fire burning your throat and jaw-breaking biscuit crumbs. But when death was always one storm away, pirates got creative with these basic ingredients surprisingly.
What pirates called ship's biscuit wasn't anything like fluffy, buttery treats you might imagine today.
This was hardtack, survival food, made from flour, water, and relentless heat until moisture disappeared. Baked until bone dry, they'll baked again to ensure survival for months at sea without rotting. The process created edible stone rather than bread, stacked in canvas sacks above the bilge. Rum wasn't endless party fuel either. It was strictly rationed, carefully measured for survival needs. Each crew member received daily issues designed to steady hands and dull constant hunger pangs. The combination was simple, portable, and nearly immortal. Perfect food for months without land.
This basic system worked beautifully until humidity crept in and weevils discovered the stores.
Even hardy survival foods had dark sicks, creating problems breaking crew spirits faster than cannon fire. Ship's biscuits inevitably picked up weevil infestations. Tiny white worms the cook called extra protein. Mold rings appeared around stored biscuit edges, like green halos of decay and death below.
The salt stink from preserved food permeated every corner of cramped living quarters.
Rum provided warmth and momentary escape, but dulled judgment when sharp minds mattered most. Crews dreamed of tavern feasts with fresh bread, roasted meat, and endless ale flowing. Reality meant aching jaws from gnawing rock-hard biscuits that could crack unwary teeth clean. Poor nutrition sapped crew morale, while scurvy's first symptoms began appearing among weaker men. Desperate ingenuity led crews to soak rock-hard biscuits in precious water until somewhat edible. Some mixed precious rum with soaking water, adding flavor while killing dangerous bacterial growth. Others discovered heating biscuits over iron plates could burn away weevils while adding smoky taste. Some crews learned toasting biscuits over iron plates to add flavor and kill wriggling creatures. Resourceful pirates would pound hardtack with belaying pins, turning stone into coarse meal for mixing, creating burgoo, porridge-like substances easier to swallow and digest than the original bricks completely. Quick shakes with cloth separated out weevils like seasoning, and boiling transformed crumbs into soup. These techniques made survival possible, but didn't solve the fundamental problem of crushing dietary monotony.
That's when pirates learned being equally creative with rum rations, turning alcohol into multi-purpose survival tools.
Rum became much more than drink. It was the liquid foundation of pirate survival strategy.
Smart quartermasters cut rum with water, creating grog, slowing drunkenness, and stretching precious alcohol supplies.
When lucky enough to have vinegar or citrus, Drops could sharpen grog taste and calm foulness.
Mixed with warm water, grog transformed biscuit mush into something almost resembling proper supper meals. The daily ration bell became like a metronome, keeping crew tempers steady through endless misery.
This wasn't about getting drunk. It was sophisticated crew morale plumbing, carefully calculated for functionality.
But storms and rough weather could crush meal schedules, forcing crews to adapt survival strategies instantly. To stay mentally stable, pirate crews developed gallows humor culture, turning miserable food into shared entertainment. They'd give individual weevils names and personalities, tapping biscuits to shake out writhing creatures below.
Pretending twitching piles were exotic desserts costing extra in fancy port taverns for wealthy customers.
Card game losers ate the lively slice. Take biscuit pieces with most visible worm activity inside.
While everyone roared with laughter at their disgusted expressions and desperate attempts to swallow.
Some crews held tooth champion competitions, seeing who could bite biscuit corners without soaking first.
Winners earned extra grog sips as prizes for surviving the jaw-breaking ordeal with dignity intact.
This dark humor kept knives sheathed, preventing violent disputes that could tear crews apart completely. Laughter was often the only thing standing between functioning crews and ships full of murderous men. But when weather turned truly vicious, even laughter couldn't solve harsh survival realities on fighting ships. During violent storms, cooking fires had to be banked for safety while storage casks broke open.
The day's meal became cold, hard biscuit and rationed grog, while men bailed water desperately.
Quartermasters announced reduced rations with grim formality, smaller portions, and stricter rum watches for everyone. Anyone caught hoarding faced brutal rope discipline, while their crewmates watched the painful punishment administered. Physical strength faded when ships needed every man working at maximum capacity through mountainous waves. The vessels still had to fly through howling winds, regardless of whether crews felt strong.
Discipline became the difference between survival and death, with experienced crews pushing through exhaustion completely.
These emergency protocols separated professional pirates from amateur criminals who fell apart under pressure entirely. Successful crews understood food distribution wasn't about full bellies. It was maintaining social order for survival. Pirate articles included provisions promising equal access to victuals, with quartermasters policing bread rooms vigilantly. Ship's coopers guarded dry stores against sweat and spray with the dedication of protective family members. Theft of biscuit or rum wasn't minor offense. It was crew crime threatening everyone's survival. Fair shares bought loyalty when flavor was impossible, and maintaining order kept men moving forward. These weren't arbitrary rules from tyrants. They were survival protocols developed through bitter crew experience. Even disciplined rationing couldn't solve the fundamental problem that biscuits lacked essential vitamins and nutrients. The mathematics became brutally simple. Biscuit provided carbohydrates, rum delivered calories. Neither offered vitamin C. So gums bled, teeth wobbled loose, and old wounds mysteriously reopened without proper nutrition supplies. Men learned working through dizziness by spacing rum sips and eating small biscuit portions frequently. Survival became pure arithmetic, consuming just enough fuel to haul lines and climb rigging, but never enough to feel truly full or satisfied with their monotonous, nutritionally incomplete diet. Controlled starvation pushed crews to celebrate even smallest improvements, with enthusiasm seeming absurd to landlubbers.
On rare, blessed day when luck smiled, cooks might steal drippings to pan-fry biscuit crumbs,
transforming dust and fragments into something actually tasting like food, instead of punishment for living. A precious spoonful of molasses in biscuit porridge could create festival atmosphere lasting precious minutes, giving men sweetness tastes they might not experience again for months of ocean sailing ahead. The appearance of duff, her simple pudding from biscuit meal cutters, could turn groans into celebration songs. Even single spoons of onion broth could make entire decks smell like taverns filled with ghosts. These tiny upgrades provided hope that tasted stronger than hunger, at least for one watch. But pirate ship life was never predictable, and food systems could fail without any warning.
The rum's gone bad! You clumsy coopers! We did our best.
Threatening to spark brawls that could tear crews apart when discipline was everything for survival. Smart cooks proved vinegar rinses could sweeten next barrel fills, restoring order through demonstrated solutions. Another day might bring sailors slipping on wet decking, bursting precious biscuit sacks across salt water. Quick-thinking quartermasters organizing emergency rebagging could save meals, meaning the difference between adequate rations and starvation. These emergencies taught pirates that practice turned panic into procedure, and procedure meant survival differences. In the end, pirates learned their legendary reputation wasn't built on swagger or dramatic sword fights. They survived on flour bricks and burning firewater, transformed into hope through craft and humor. Ship's biscuit and rum weren't romantic adventure symbols. They were sophisticated survival systems entirely. Based on dry storage techniques, careful mixing ratios, and strict sharing protocols preventing deadly crew conflicts. Tiny upgrades taught men eating tomorrow's hope today, instead of consuming everything immediately and starving later. On their wooden world surrounded by endless, undrinkable ocean, courage wasn't expressed through battle cries.
Real pirate courage was found in discipline of measured sips and carefully softened bites daily.
Sustained by promises that next watch bells would ring and rations would still be shared. Pirates who mastered humble survival arts didn't just live longer, a fiat. They created legendary foundations, allowing them to pursue adventures and treasures that made them famous throughout maritime history books. Proving that in the unforgiving high seas world, turning flour into hope was more valuable. More valuable than all the Spanish gold hidden in every Caribbean treasure chest combined together. The ability to transform basic ingredients into survival was the true treasure pirates needed most.